This M-Pesa statement in my hand has 47,300 shillings of your money disappearing every single year. I'm going to show you exactly where that money is going in the next 3 minutes. But more importantly, over the next 15 minutes, we are going to build a personal profit and loss sheet from scratch. This tool is the single most powerful weapon in your financial arsenal. It's how you'll find at least 50,000 shillings a year that you didn't even know you were losing. And pay close attention, because at the 8-minute and 20-second mark, I'm going to reveal the #1 spending leak for 90% of Kenyans. If you want to stop working for the banks and start working for your future, this is the most important video you'll watch all year. Let's get to work. We all know the feeling. You work hard, the salary hits your account, you pay the rent, the school fees, and the electricity. But 2 weeks later, you're checking your balance and wondering where it all went. It's not the big bills that sink you, it's the invisible drain. It's the buy goods transactions for 500 shillings, the send money for 200, and the airtime top-ups that happen almost automatically. Individually, they are small. Collectively, they are the reason your savings account isn't growing. We treat these as miscellaneous costs, but in reality, they are the biggest obstacle to your financial freedom. Today, we're going to illuminate those dark corners of your spending. We're going to treat your life like the high-stakes business it is and audit every single shilling. This is the difference between being a consumer and being a wealth builder. Why is it so hard to track these small amounts? It's psychological. Our brains are hardwired for immediate gratification. When you spend 500 shillings on a convenient lunch, your brain sees the immediate reward but ignores the long-term cost. Over a working year, that one small habit costs you over 120,000 shillings. That is the cost of convenience. Lenders and service providers design their systems to make spending as frictionless as possible. The one-click pay and the Lipa na M-Pesa stickers are designed to bypass your logical brain. To fight back, you need a system that introduces friction. You need to see the cumulative impact of your choices before you make them. That's why the P&L is so vital. It forces you to acknowledge the total cost of your habits, not just the daily price. We're going to break that cycle of frictionless spending today and replace it with intentional awareness. In the corporate world, every successful CEO spends hours each month reviewing their profit and loss statement. It tracks revenue, the money coming in, and expenses, the money going out. The number at the bottom is the net profit. If it's positive, the business is growing. If it's negative, the business is dying. Most people don't realize that they are the CEO of their own lives. Your salary is your revenue, your lifestyle is your expense, and your savings and investments are your profit. If you don't have a P&L, you are running your life like a failing business. You're flying blind. A budget tells you where you hope the money will go. A P&L tells you where it actually went. By the end of this workshop, you won't just have a spreadsheet, you'll have a management system for your entire life. I've provided a free template for you to download so you can follow along as we build this together. Step 1 is the raw data. I want you to go to your M-Pesa app right now. Go to Information, then M-Pesa Statement, and export your last 30 to 90 days as a CSV or PDF file. This is the digital footprint of your life. It doesn't lie. Most people are afraid of this step because they don't want to see the truth. But remember, you cannot manage what you do not measure. We're going to take this raw list of transactions. They pay bills, they buy goods, and they send money. And we are going to clean them up. We are going to look for patterns. Is there a recurring amount every Friday night? Is there a specific merchant you visit 3 times a week? This is the detective work of wealth creation. We are looking for the leaks. Get your statement ready, because in the next section, we're going to start categorizing these transactions into the buckets that will determine your financial future. This is where it gets real. A personal P&L is only as good as its categories. We use 3 primary buckets at Money Up Academy. Bucket 1, fixed expenses. These are your non-negotiables: rent, school fees, insurance, and basic utilities. They usually stay the same every month. Bucket 2, variable expenses. This is the danger zone. This is where your groceries, dining out, entertainment, and miscellaneous spending live. This is where most of your missing money is hiding. Bucket 3, Investments. This isn't just savings. It's money you've put into your circle, your stock portfolio, or your business. This is your profit. The goal of this exercise is to shrink the variable bucket and grow the investment bucket. Most Kenyans have a variable bucket that is twice as large as it needs to be. We're going to look at the logic of how to decide which transaction goes into which bucket. We're going to be brutal. If it doesn't build your future, it's an expense. Period. Let's start the workshop. Watch the screen. I'm taking the first set of transactions from our M-Pesa export. First, the KPLC and Nairobi Water pay bills. These go straight into the fixed bucket. Then, the rent payment. These are easy. But look at your transport costs. If you use taxi hailing apps every day, that's a choice, not a fixed necessity. We move those to variable. Why? Because we can optimize them. The goal of this first pass is to establish your survival baseline. This is the absolute minimum you need to keep your life running. For many of you, seeing this number alone will be a relief. It's often lower than you think, which means the leaks are happening everywhere else. Let's finish the fixed column before moving to the danger zone, your variable spending. Now, the variable bucket. This is where the 47,000 shillings lives. Look at these buy goods transactions at the chemist, the local supermarket, and the Java coffee shop. We are categorizing these one by one. If you bought milk and bread, it's variable essential. If you bought 1,000 shillings worth of snacks or a drink for a friend, it's variable lifestyle. This is where we find the found money. I want you to be honest with yourself here. If you can't justify the spending to your future self, it belongs in the optimized category. By the time we finish this column, your P&L will start to look like a map of your habits. You'll see exactly how much your daily conveniences are costing your dream home or your children's university fund. Don't blink. The data is telling you your future. Finally, we reach the bottom line, your profit. This is what's left after all expenses are paid. In a healthy personal P&L, your profit should be at least 20% of your revenue. If it's zero or negative, you are a business in crisis. But here is the magic. By finding just 10% in leaks in the variable bucket, you can double your profit immediately. Look at the math on the screen. By cutting the Java trips and the unplanned airtime, we've just earned an extra 7,000 shillings this month. That goes straight to the investment bucket, your SACCO or your emergency fund. This is how you win. You don't need a promotion to get a raise. You just need a P&L to find the money you already have. Get ready because the biggest leak of all is coming up next. It's 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Here is the reveal I promised. The number one leak for 90% of Kenyans and the reason that 47,000 shillings is disappearing is unplanned gifting and unstructured black tax. We are a communal society and we love to help our families. But when you help without a plan, you are sabotaging your own ability to help in the long run. These small requests, 500 for airtime, 1,000 for a sudden bill, are the silent killers of your wealth. When you don't have a specific line item in your P&L for family support, every gift comes directly out of your profit bucket. It's the difference between being a fountain and being a drain. By setting a hard monthly limit for this category, you can save 10 to 15,000 shillings every single month. This isn't about being heartless, it's about being sustainable. You can't lift others up if you're drowning in debt yourself. So, how do we fix the gifting leak? You create a gifting budget in your P&L. Decide at the start of the month exactly how much you can afford to give without hurting your own progress. When someone asks for help, you check your bucket. If it's full, you give. If it's empty, you say, I've reached my limit for this month, but I can help you next month. This shifts the conversation from your willingness to your capacity. It teaches your network that you are a disciplined manager of money. Over time, the requests will become more structured and you'll find that you actually have more to give because your own wealth is growing sustainably. This is the most difficult boundary to set, but it's the one that will determine your financial freedom. You are the CEO, act like one. Now that we've found the money, let's forecast your future. If you take that 50,000 Kshnt we just saved and put it into a SACCO earning 10% interest, you aren't just saving money, you are buying time. In 5 years, that's over 300,000 shillings. In 15 years, it's over 2 million. This is the forward-looking P&L. I want you to look at your spreadsheet and imagine those numbers growing. Every leak you plug today is a day earlier you can retire. Every convenience you skip now is a legacy you leave for your children. Use your P&L to set 1-year and 5-year goals. Don't just look at where the money went, look at where it's going to go. This is the mindset shift that turns a student of Money Up Academy into a master of their destiny. Your future self is thanking you right now. When you find those leaks, the unplanned gifts, the unused subscriptions, the daily conveniences, you easily reach that 50,000 shilling mark. That is money that was just gone. Now, it's money that can go into your SACCO, your emergency fund, or your first real estate investment. Imagine doing this for 5 years. That's 250,000 shillings you've saved just by being intentional for 15 minutes a month. The math is simple, but the impact is generational. You are building a legacy of financial literacy that will change your family's future forever. This is how you win. It starts with 15 minutes a month and the courage to look at the data. This is the foundation of everything we teach here at Money Up Academy. So how do you keep this going? It's the 15-minute monthly audit. On the first of every month, you export your M-Pesa, you open your P&L template, and you spend 15 minutes categorizing the last 30 days. You compare your actual profit to your goal. If you hit your leak limit, you celebrate. If you overspent, you adjust for the next month. Consistency is the only secret to wealth. You don't need a massive salary, you need a massive awareness. Make this a non-negotiable appointment with yourself. Put it in your calendar right now. The first time will take an hour, but by month 3, you'll be done in 15 minutes. This small habit will change your life more than any get-rich-quick scheme ever could. Reclaim your money, reclaim your future. The template is waiting for you in the description. Thank you for joining this 15-minute masterclass. Download the template, start your audit, and tell me in the comments, what was your biggest surprise when you looked at your statement? Your honesty helps this community grow. Subscribe to Money Up Academy for more masterclasses that put you in control of your financial destiny. I'll see you in the next one.